From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A cold case, finally solved nearly 28 years later. I'm Cassidy Powers, and coming up, find out who took the life of 15-year-old Danny Houchins.
The Trump-Harris debate is set. I'm Jared Hill with what we know about the pair's upcoming matchup, plus what the former president is saying about the size of his crowds compared to a major American icon.
I'm Megan Thompson here at a textile artist studio in Uptown Butte, and coming right up, we'll take a look at one of the items that's offered for raffle for the annual Henri Ra Festival.
And speaking of Henri Ra, there is a look over in the mining city. Hard to believe that we are already kicking off the Montana Irish Festival over in Butte this morning. Henri Ra, such a fun event. Now, we're holding down the desk solo this morning, but we are going to throw it over to Chief Meteorologist Mike Hurd. He's going to give you a look at your forecast.
We got an update from the Climate Prediction Center on what's possibly to come as we head into the winter months. A building La Nina pattern will begin to emerge sometime between September and October, and then it's expected to strengthen as we get into November, December, and January. What does that possibility mean? Colder than normal temperatures and probably increasing above average precipitation. Fantastic pattern to hopefully pull us out of a growing drought that we're currently stuck in across most of the state of Montana. So a complete opposite of last year's mild winter and dry winter. We're expecting just the opposite heading into this upcoming winter season.
Thank you very much, Mike. Now, nearly 28 years ago, 15-year-old Danny Houchins was raped and murdered at a fishing access in Belgrade. And yesterday, we learned the cold case had been solved. MTN's Cassidy Powers was at that news conference where the Gallatin County Sheriff announced the name of the killer and how, after so many years, there's finally justice for Danny's family.
Thursday, the sheriff's office announced who killed Danielle Houchins, the 15-year-old girl who was raped and murdered right here at Cameron Bridge nearly 28 years ago. And although we now know the killer, we still may never know what prompted him to kill an innocent girl.
After nearly 28 years without answers, without justice, we celebrate today.
September 21st, 1996, 15-year-old Danielle Houchins left her home in Belgrade and drove out to Cameron Bridge fishing access. But Danny never returned home. Several hours after she went missing, Danny was found by family friends, murdered.
He was the one who forcefully and violently sexually assaulted my sister, then held her head down in a marsh until she choked to death on mud.
Who killed Danielle Houchins? That was the question that remained unanswered for almost 28 years, until about a month ago.
During the initial investigation, 4 hairs were collected from Danny's body.
The sheriff's office reopened Danny's case in 2019. New technology gave hope for a different outcome in this cold case. The preserved evidence was first sent to a forensics lab in California, where it was run through the FBI's combined DNA index system. No matches were found. But investigators didn't give up. A match was finally found in the database of a large American genealogy company through a court order.
Preliminary DNA analysis led us to Paul Hutchinson of Dillon, Montana.
In July of 2024, investigators interviewed 55-year-old Paul Hutchinson.
As they discussed Danny's case, he exhibited signs of nervousness and other erratic behaviors. Less than 12 hours later, Hutchinson committed suicide.
After the suicide, the sheriff's office received confirmation that DNA evidence was a complete match to Paul Hutchinson. Sheriff Springer says Hutchinson was married and worked for the Bureau of Land Management for 22 years. Hutchinson had 2 kids, a daughter around the age of 20 and a younger son. Springer says Hutchinson was a graduate student at Montana State and had only been in the area a short period at the time of the murder.
This appeared to be a crime of opportunity where an evil man took the life of an innocent and lovely 15-year-old girl. This case exemplifies the Sheriff's Office's relentless pursuit of justice. We never gave up on finding the truth for Danny and her family.
But after nearly 28 years of fighting to find justice for her sister, Stephanie Houchins says she still feels unsatisfied.
The institutions that are designed to protect the rights of victims, to ensure that vicious killers are incarcerated, to deliver justice in Montana, those institutions failed my sister.
Stephanie says 28 years is far too long, and she had to fight far too hard to find justice for her 15-year-old sister.
Montanans, Danielle's story should anger you, should make you think about your mothers, your sisters, your wives, and your daughters, should make you think about everything you would do to protect and honor the women you love.
The investigation into Danny's death is closed. However, law enforcement is still looking into Paul Hutchinson's life and possible connections to other cold cases. In Belgrade, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Cassidy. 6:05 now. Voters will see former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris on the debate stage in just over a month. Both nominees agreed to hold their first debate on September 10th, with more debates possible. Meanwhile, Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are continuing their focus on battleground states with a rally in Arizona today. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill reports from New York.
After touching down in Phoenix last night, today Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to take her battleground barnstorm to the Sun Belt. The Democratic nominee also agreeing to her first head-to-head matchup with former President Donald Trump in a debate on September 10th.
I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
The announcement as the vice president spent more one-on-one time with voters. Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, expressed their solidarity with United Auto Workers in Detroit.
We are all in this together. We stand for the dignity of work, and we stand for freedom. We stand for justice.
Former President Donald Trump lashed out at the Democratic ticket during a news conference at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida.
Kamala's record is horrible. She's a radical left person at a level that nobody's seen. She picked a radical left man. He doesn't want to have borders. He doesn't want to have walls. He doesn't want to have any form of safety for our country.
Trump criticizing Harris for not having done a sit-down interview since announcing her run for the White House, also criticized coverage of the size of her rallies.
Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me.
Trump falsely claimed more people turned out for his speech at a Stop the Steal rally on January 6th than showed up for the 1963 March on Washington, when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
And former President Trump will be holding a rally today in Bozeman. Now, Montana has only voted for Democrats in 2 presidential elections since 1952. Now, in light of security concerns surrounding the Trump rally at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, Bozeman Police Department will be closing several streets in that area starting early this afternoon. Now, here's a look at a little map. Starting at 1 o'clock today, Kagi from 7th to 11th, 7th from Kagi to Grant, 11th from Grant to near Town and Country, and Grant from 11th to 7th will all be closed to traffic. Access to rally parking will only be from eastbound Kagi to 11th and will only be in the south end section of the Fieldhouse parking lot. Now, this map is over on our website if you want a closer look, a little bit more time with it. So if you're planning on heading to the rally, excuse me, you can kind of navigate your findings. Now, new employee housing is open in Big Sky. The Levinsky Lodge consists of 3 buildings and offers apartment-style living for manager-level workers and families. The Big Sky Resort general manager says the new space boasts a unique style for individual tastes.
Well, this has been in the works for a while, and we've been committed to employee or team member housing investments for about 30 years, but these newest are absolutely a product that we're super proud of, different style of what we've built for many years. And this Levinsky complex of A, B, and C buildings is taking us to over 1,000 beds in Big Sky, and we're super proud of that.
2 of the buildings in the new complex are outfitted with solar panels, and the housing is dorm style and apartment style. The price for a 1-bedroom at Levinsky Lodge is $850. They hope to utilize this type of housing in more places in the future. And Butte's annual Henri Raw is free and open to the public. And one way the festival remains free is through a raffle that includes, among other things, a quilt. Our Megan Thompson met the textile artist behind the quilt made of t-shirts from previous festivals.
Well, it's the middle of summer, so you might not be thinking about wrapping yourself up in a quilt just yet. But the artist behind this quilt that's on the raffle for the annual Henri Raw Festival says you can hang it on your wall too.
A lot of people I know the girl who won last year's has it on a wall just to display it. And I'm like, you can put it on the bed, it's okay.
Claire Thornburg is a textile artist based in Butte. She made her first quilt when she was just 19, but over the years she has found joy in making her own clothing and just about anything else you can think of.
I think it'll do. I like to say I'll sew anything except a dishwasher because I haven't had success at that. I'll sew just about anything. If there's a solution to a problem that I can sew, I'll do that.
Claire says her late friend Monica Evans, a Butte Irish matriarch, got her hooked on the festival. So when she moved here 4 years ago, she asked how she could help the event. And as it turns out, sewing is the solution.
It's a good moneymaker for the festival. We think of it as how we keep the festival gate free, which I think is really important.
The 2024 quilt raffle, made of t-shirts from 20 years of Irish festivals, is unique, says Claire, thanks to a design using diagonal lines that gives the piece structure.
Kind of structured the whole quilt. It's not like a normal t-shirt quilt, though. It's more artistic than that, which I think is fun.
To enter the raffle for the quilt and other items, you can visit Claire at the festival booth throughout the weekend. In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Hard to believe Henri Raw is kicking off this morning. Going to be an exciting time over in the mining city. Now, before we head into a break, I'm going to be taking us over to the Olympics because we have another gold medal to add to USA's belt, but another world record to boot. This is USA's own Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Now, she won the gold medal in the 400-meter hurdles and set a world record. Just take a look at her. Absolutely incredible. Talk about athleticism at its peak right here. Now, her record time, 50 seconds, 0.37. Absolutely incredible. She wins the 400-meter hurdles, back-to-back Olympics. This is the last time that Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone lost a 400-meter race. That was back in 2019. Ever since then, she has won each and every single race that she has competed in. That is a streak of 25 consecutive races. Absolutely incredible stuff. I mean, just hats off to her. That is a lot of hard work, dedication to your sport, and a love of country to be out there competing on the national stage like that. Now, I just checked my Olympic app. We are currently still #1. China is closely following us as far as the gold medals, silver medals go. So we're looking pretty good so far at the old games. Now, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, well, we are going to be joined by RNC Strategic Communication Director about the upcoming Trump rally in Bozeman and the focus on our Senate race.